So let's rank all the films I watched for the first time for the month of July 2023. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Dual, better known to you as the Big D, back again with another ranking. This time it's going to be my July 2023 first time watches. Now, I watched 24 films for the month of July 2023. So, anyway, this was kind of a big surprise and what have you. So, I'm going to try and go rapid fire through the first 14 films, and then I'll be back to give you my thoughts on the top 10, okay? So, bear with me. So, because this time I'm not going to do like what I did with the re-watches ranking. I'll just give you rapid fire of the first 14 films, and then I'll talk about the top 10, okay? As I've said already. If you're ready, let's start the rankings. Sit back, relax, and here we go. Number 24 is Pan from 2015. This is a prequel to Pierre and Wendy, as in Pierre, Pan, and Wendy, which I'd rather rewatch this or the 2003 Pierre Pan film or Hook over this. It does have a few good cast performances, but not all of them are great, though. This film bombed at the box office, though, but it's an alright film. Number 23 is Amityville 3D from 1983. This one isn't great though. I'd rather watch Friday the 13th Part 3 over this, or even Jaws 3. This is another 80s film done in 3D, but it's not great. It was surprising to see a young version of Lori Loughlin in this, as well as Meg Ryan. Number 22 is Children of the Corn Runaway from 2018. This direct video film is, well, it's okay and what have you. Again, the Children of the Corn sequels or what have you have been misses and hits and what have you. But I like the blood and what have you. Some of it was pretty good, but again, this isn't that great though. Number 21 is 65, released earlier this year. This film didn't do so well at the box office. Adam Driver's pretty good and what have you. Ending up on Earth 65 million years ago, yeah, really something. If you haven't seen this in a main reviews vid, check it out. I didn't hate this film. I thought it was good in some. Number 20 is Zoe 102. Now, this just came to Paramount Plus, and well, while it's a continuation of Zoe 101, it's an okay film. Expect to hear my thoughts on this in a main review later on down the road this month. Number 19 is The Outlaws. This is a new Netflix film that has Pierce Brosnan and Ellen Barkin along with Adam Devine. This film's okay at first, but then it gets a little better later on. I'll talk more about this when I do a main review of it. Number 18 is Infinity Pool. Now, I recently did this in a main review with 65. Check it out if you haven't. This film's kind of strange and what have you, and well, I did like its atmosphere, and its cast isn't too bad, especially Mia Goth. She was so good. And Brandon Cronenberg's direction was very good as well. Number 17 is The Purge from 2013. Strange film, another strange film. This film's, well, not too bad. It had some pretty good action and what have you. Ethan Hawke's pretty good as well. I haven't seen the other films. If I do happen to encounter them, I will look into them. And maybe you'll get reviews of these later on. Number 16 is Bloody Summer Camp from 2021. This film's pretty good. I mean, I like how it pays homage to the slasher films of the 1980s. And I liked how it had Felissa Rose from Sleepaway Camp and Dave Sheridan. You may remember Doofy from Scary Movie. Yeah, this film's pretty good. You gotta check this one out. Maybe I'll review this sometime or sooner if I decide to rewatch it. Number 15 is Joyride. This came out last month, but this film unfortunately bombed at the box office. despite getting good reviews in my review, its cast is pretty funny. If you haven't seen my review of this, I did a main review of this along with the next film on this ranking. Check it out. But anyway, this is just one crazy chick flick. Number 14 is Polite Society. Now, I recently included this in the mini review with Joyride, which I just mentioned. This film's kind of, I don't know, strange, but it's pretty good. It's got some pretty good action and some funny moments and what have you. Check out this film and check out my mini review of it with Joyride if you haven't already. Number 13 is They Clone Tyrone. This is a new Netflix film. I will do a mini review of this. Uh, it's pretty funny and what have you in some parts, but it's kind of strange and what have you. I do like its sci-fi feel to it, but I'll talk more about when I do a main review of this later on. Number 12 is Audrey Rose from 1977. This is a psychological horror flick, and I gotta say, it's pretty strange and what have you, but, well, I find it to be pretty good. I mean, with it being a 70s horror flick and what have you. Will think of rewatching this sometime and maybe review it later on. But I gotta say, with Sir Anthony Hopkins in one of his early films, yeah, this is really something. Number 11 is Haunted Mansion. This is the new take of the Disney thrill ride of the same name, and well, it's got a pretty good all-star cast. I will say it's a little bit of an improvement over the original Eddie Murphy, but you don't have to take my word for it. If you haven't seen my review of it yet, check it out. I can see a lot of y'all have seen it and already, well, enjoyed it. There, I hope y'all are with me so far. Good. Anyway, I'm gonna tell you, this was tough. I got in a wicked rush in doing this. I just completely forgot about Joyride and Polite Society. Glad I decided to go back and fix this and fix up this video and well try and shoot this video with them. I was doing this already and I forgot about those two and almost gave them honorable mentions, but I couldn't do that because those were first time watches for me. So apologies. But now you've seen the first 14, now I can get into the top 10. Hope you're ready for them because this is going to be a big one. All right, here we go. Number 10 is It Comes at Night from 2017. Now, since I got the A24 5 horror film collection last month, this was the first film I watched since it was the only film in the collection I had never seen. I do think it's pretty good, despite it didn't do too well at the box office, but got some good response though. I mean, I like the story, how it focuses on a family hiding in a forest as the earth is taken by a highly contagious disease and what have you. Yeah. I will say it was just so shocking and what have you. I will rewatch this again maybe sometime, and maybe I'll review this for Spooktacular October. We'll see. But I don't want to get too far ahead of myself yet. But it could happen. But anyway, another good horror classic from A24, definitely. Now, coming in at number 9 is Evil Dead Rise, which came out this past spring. I gotta say, this was definitely a bloody thrill ride. Very good installment of the Evil Dead franchise, and I'm gonna say this was just so wow. I will rewatch this. I'm not sure if I'll include it on the rewatches ranking though, but I will rewatch this and give you a spoiler-free review of this later in the month. But I'm just gonna say it was just so bloody and what have you, very bloody. Now coming in at number 8 is The Color of Money from 1986. Now, I was surprised to see that Martin Scorsese directed this. Wow. He did an exceptionally good job of this since it's a sequel to the film The Hustler, which I've never seen, but I've heard of it though. Paul Newman reprises his role from that film. He and Tom Cruise are very good, and I have you. I like Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio's performance. And it's got a good soundtrack, which included the song "It's in the Way That You Use It" by Eric Clapton, which I actually have been recently hearing on classic rock radio lately. So that's pretty good too. I'll review this film sometime down the road, but Scorsese, wow, directing this film was really something. Definitely. And coming in at number 7 is The Slumber Party. Now, this is a film that recently premiered on Disney Channel last week and then followed by coming to Disney Plus, which is where I watched it. This film was so funny. It was like The Hangover all over again, but only with young girls and what have you in a more family friendly way. But I'll talk more about this when I do a main review of this along with Zoe 102 later in the month. This film was absolutely crazy. Definitely. But I'll tell you more about it in my main review, though. Okay? And coming in at number 6 is Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. While this film isn't doing great and what have you, but I completely understand. But Harrison Ford did an exceptionally good job in his final performance as Indy. I will say that it does have its issues, but overall it's fine. What have you? At least a step up from the last film, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. But anywho, I think this film just was fine and fun and had some thrills and what have you, just like what you get from any other Indiana Jones film. Check out my spoiler-free review of this if you haven't already. Now, coming in at number 5 is Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead from 1991. Yes, I've only seen bits, I seem to recall I've seen only bits and pieces of this film. So I kind of consider this to be the first time I watched the film in its entirety. This film's absolutely crazy and what have you. Stephen Herrick, who would direct The Mighty Ducks after this, did a pretty good job on this. Christina Applegate and the cast was pretty good too. So anyway, I'll try and talk about this film sometime or sooner. I don't know when, but I will. Anyway, this film's an absolute cult classic, and well, after watching it completely, I really enjoyed it. Definitely. Now, this one's going to now, please don't hate me for having this next film that high. Coming in at number 4 is Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken, the latest film from DreamWorks Animation. Unfortunately, it bombed at the box office, which was a big disappointment. When I saw how poorly it did, I got upset. And as always, I've said before, and I'm going to say it again, that's going to change. I hope DreamWorks will redeem itself with and get some good money for the new Trolls band together when it comes around. But back to Ruby Gillman, I liked it. I don't care what anybody says. I know some of y'all didn't like it, and that's understandable. I understand y'all completely, certainly. But anywho, I thought it was pretty fun and what have you, and was just so colorful and what have you. So that's all I can tell you about Ruby Gillman Teenage Kraken. Check out my review of it if you haven't seen it already. Now, coming in at number 3 is Little Darlings from 1980. A great coming of age teenage dramedy. Tam O'Neal and Chrissy McNichol, they were very, very good in this. So was the rest of the cast. I feel like this is just one film. I don't think anybody has talked about it. I definitely should talk about this. After watching it, it was just so cool and what have you. I like the saying of it being at camp and what have you. And what these two gals in all the girls at their camp were doing what have you. Really, really something. Definitely. I just had a lot of fun watching this one. Check it out if you haven't, but I'll review it sometime down the road. And now for the final two. This was a tough decision to make, as we got two good films here, one action packed, one outrageously fun film flick. But please don't hate me for having these in different spots, okay? Coming in at number 2 is Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. Now, I feel bad I took you off my flicks I hope to see this summer ranking, what have you. But after watching it, I'm just so happy that I got to enjoy this for what it had to offer. This was such a blast and what have you. I know it was long running and what have you. By that I mean it's running time. But anyway, Tom Cruise once again good as Agent Ethan Hunt. The cast was good, old and new. The stunts and action sequences were just so spectacular and awesome. Definitely. If you haven't seen my review of the film yet, check it out. And again, I hope for the best this blooming strike ends sooner or later, because there's no way in hell I'm going to let them postpone part 2 and leave us hanging on by a thread, you know. Seriously. Word to you, movie studios, pay the blooming actors so we don't have another time picking load of delays. You know what happened last time this happened? It was due to the damn pandemic. Sorry, apologies for the light language, but enough said. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 was a blast. But if that's number 2, what's number 1? Well, please do not hate me or shoot me for having this number 1. My number 1 first time watch of July 2023 is Barbie. Yes, please don't shoot me or hate me, as I've said already. I had a blast with this film. This film was absolutely colorful, amazing, and pretty funny in parts and what have you. So, anywho, I actually thought this movie was so good than I had anticipated. Margot Robbie was definitely great as Barbie, and Ryan Gosling was good as Ken. This film's already become the biggest opening film of the year, surpassing the Super Mario Bros. Movie, and it's already nipping at that film's heels, you know. I'm saying, if you haven't seen this film yet, you better see it while you still can. I'm sure it'll be around for some time, but I think this film is just so incredible. I know it has its moments, but it's still pretty gosh darn funny, you know. So anyway, I loved Barbie. I don't care what y'all think. I loved it. Check out my review of it if you haven't already. So that's going to do it for this ranking. What did you think? What's your top first time watch of July 2023? You can give me your top 1, you can give me your top 3, or top 5. That's as high as I want you to go. And if you got some, leave them for me in the comment section below. If you liked the video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Join me next time when I bring to you a spoiler-free review of the recent award-winning film, The Fabelmans. So I hope y'all enjoyed this, and if you did, check out my spoiler-free reviews for some of these films in the top 5. In the upper left-hand corner is my review of Barbie. The upper right-hand corner is my review of Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. And the bottom left-hand corner is my review of Ruby Gillman Teenage Kraken. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.